Hello, good morning, good evening, everyone. Those who are from the eastern side of the world, good morning. Those who are from US, Mexico, and other time zones, good evening, everyone. So we will start the session in few minutes as our friends join. Okay. If you have any queries, questions, or doubts, anything, put it in the chat. I will try to help you in clearing them. Hi guys, good morning. Can you someone put it in the chat whether you're able to hear my voice and see the screen properly? I can see Aditi, Chiranjeevi Kumar, Dilip Kumar, Emmanuel, Venkatesh, Hannah. Just put it in the chat if you can hear me and listen to my voice. Thank you, Venkatesh. Thank you, Chiranjeevi Kumar. Thank you so much. So let me briefly stop the screen and share again so that we can share everything from the device. Okay. 1 second. What's happening? Okay. Okay. Let me share today's presentation. Okay. Any queries from the yesterday's session? Is Logic Lab also offering Azure? Yes, Hannah, we have several courses which offer different cloud service providers and different courses. You can go to logiclabtech.com and you will get the necessary details. If you have any queries, mail to support@logiclab.com. Okay. Fine. Till yesterday, what were we doing? We were trying to slightly understand the basics of cloud to see how GCP and different services in GCP helps us in our day-to-day responsibilities as a cloud engineer or DevOps engineer or SRE engineer. Okay. So today we are going to see some theoretical aspects of cloud, and also we will see how to create a free trial in GCP. So the work for you in the weekend is that to create a free trial in GCP platform and understand what are different services which are available. And then on the Monday, we will try to discuss, different aspects of different aspects of Google Cloud Platform. And we will proceed to module 2. Okay. So today is Friday. So Friday is a fun day. We are going to learn some new concepts about GCP and some theoretical aspects about cloud computing and some important scenarios and different parameters. Okay. Oh, is it? 1 second. Can you hear me properly? 1 second. This is output. 1 second. Let me do one thing. Let me connect a Bluetooth device and try to again, you know, try to Yeah, I understand, Venkatesh. Let me try to connect a Bluetooth device so that the microphone will be much nearer to the way how I speak. So the default microphone might be slightly weak. and I want to connect to the Bluetooth.
Okay, fine. How is it now? You guys are able to hear me properly? Is my voice loud and clear? Okay, great. So today we are going to delve into cloud computing and different aspects of cloud computing. Like we have seen yesterday different definitions, and we have seen the virtualization. What is virtualization and all? Today we will understand certain properties of cloud computing, like what are scalability, availability, performance, accessibility, manageability, and some other aspects. Where does these things help? We are investing some time, right, on these aspects to learn. How does these things help in real world? When we go to a client, or when we work in a project, how does the theoretical concepts help you? So these help you in providing technical documentation and also to explain our client in a technical manner. For example, how do you first let me define these aspects and then explain you how these things help in real world. So our course is what did I promise you? This is going to be a practical oriented course which will help you in your day to day responsibility as a cloud engineer or devops engineer. So my goal is to give you enough knowledge and sufficient knowledge in a way that is practically useful to you. There is no point in theoretically reading out slides that you can also do, right? That's why I'm not going to read out entire 80 slides. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give you brief pointers and explain you the concepts which are crucial to you, and then give you a homework, provide you these the entire PPTs in the portal. Those who ever register, right, will get access to the portal. You go through the thing and you understand, and if you don't understand any point, on the Monday or in the weekend, try to Google and then find answers. And if you can't even find the answers there, try chat gpt. If you even can't find there, definitely I'm there Monday morning, you can ask me. Okay, so let's try to understand certain important characteristics of cloud. Scalability and elasticity. That is the first property of the cloud, that is scalability and elasticity. Let's try to understand first in layman terms what is scalability and elasticity. Scalability means the way we address the improvement in the system or increase the system's capability to address the changing demands dynamically. Okay, what does this mean? When you are working for a small startup, the demand for your startup or application is very low. But once it becomes a hit, or it becomes a overnight sensation, then the more and more people try to access your application, then the demand has exponentially increased. Based on that, you need to make sure that the underlying infrastructure which supports your application also is capable enough to cater to all the users who are coming, right? Who all the users who are trying to access your website or e-commerce application or whatever application you are using. So scalability is the property of the cloud which helps you in increasing or catering the infrastructure to you based on the demand. So when you have one VM catering to 10 users, and when let's say like tomorrow suddenly there is 100 users. So if you are aware of several sports platform, right? Hotstar, or Sony thing, Sony Live, this thing, these sports websites, the demand to sports application or sports website will be very very normal when there is no any event happening. But when there is any Super Bowl, or when there is any IPL matches happening or World Cup matches happening, then what does happen? Suddenly the crowd throngs into that website or application and try to access the live streaming. So how does Hotstar or any other sports platform scale their infrastructure so rapidly, such that suddenly from few thousand users, few millions of users try to access the website? you know uh, so when IPL matches happen, the viewership will go up to something like 3.5 crores. That means around like 30 million or 35 million. So how does that huge increase in user base is catered to without any buffer or without any issue? The underlying phenomena is uh, whichever the streaming platform is, they will be supported by any one cloud provider. So this cloud provider has the capability of providing enormous amount of infrastructure, that is CPU, memory, and whatever the infrastructure required, along with the network and other bandwidth to scale in a huge manner whenever the need is arises. Okay, so scalability is a property of a system or a network or a process which indicates the ability to either handle growing amounts of work in a graceful manner to be readily enlarged. Okay, this simply says that whenever there is a demand, it will increase the resources which are required. That is, what is elasticity? Elasticity is the a quantifiable way that allows for our the if scalability is the property which indicates the ability, elasticity is the way to quantify these things. Okay, how elastic our infrastructure is, how speed our how in what manner, in what way, in what speed we are able to increase or decrease or uh, uh, optimize our systems. So elasticity in a way is a quantitative mechanism to deal that in real time our infrastructure is adaptive to the demands or not. Okay, where scalability is the ability, elasticity is the property quantifiable, and it is how responsive our system is to the dynamic demand. How does this scalability and elasticity are enabled? Using dynamic provisioning. Dynamic provisioning is nothing but provisioning the infrastructure or networking or whatever services on demand based on the requirement. So there are so many slides here. Just go through the dynamic provisioning benefits. Like whenever there is no dynamic provisioning happening, the capacity, the demand cannot be met with the necessary capacity. Either you will lose revenue by over allocating resources, or you will lose the resources, but you will lose the users and user base by under allocating. We don't want both of this. Over allocating we don't want, under allocating we don't want. We want optimum allocation. For that purpose, we will have a property called dynamic provision, where you analyze the demand, meet the demand using different resources, and set the properties in cloud thresholds, and different limiting different algorithms will be there, where you set the different define the limits, so that whenever there is increase in CPU utilization, then add one more resource, or decrease in CPU utilization or memory utilization or request for limit, whatever property you choose. When there is a change in the property, dynamically provision the resources, whether increasing or decreasing. Okay, so Abdul is asking, then scalability and elasticity are the same or they are different? Okay, scalability is the property, elasticity is the way that property is executed. For example, you are going to a movie, right? Or what should I say? You have bought a new car, Abdul. Okay, scalability is the way when you want to increase, you want to go on a high speed, then you can go it. Elasticity is the way within 1 minute, what is the speed you can achieve, something like that. Okay, so scalability is the way property of increasing things. Elasticity is how responsive the things are. Okay, so multi-tenant isn't, you don't need to worry about it. And then availability and reliability is one more property. What does this availability and reliability means? Availability means a system or equipment, how how available it is. That means whether a specified system is operable, and is it in a way, is it in a state where we can use it for the entire amount of time we need it. For example, if we want to watch a movie in a streaming website like Netflix and Hotstar or Amazon Prime, you want to watch a movie for 3 hours. Okay, for the entire 3 hours, your system should be up and running. What happens if in middle it crashes? You have to restart the entire application. Then the system is not available there, and also it is not reliable. That means first one is available. Available means if we want a particular infra, or if we want to a particular service to be available for a certain duration, then for the whole duration, whether the system is available or not, whether the system is operable, and it is available in a perfect state or not, is called availability. What is reliability? Reliability is the property of the system when it's required, right, under the correct parameters, it is running or not. That is the reliability. For example, you have booked a flight ticket, right? Let's say you have booked it in a business class. First thing, availability is the mechanism where when you enter the flight, you should be made available the business class seat where you want to go and sit. That is the availability. What is reliability? Reliability is the property where in a business class we will get certain privileges, right? Whether we are going those perks or not, whether those comforts are available or not, whether this the amount we are spending, whether we are getting the right worth of tools and things or not. So reliability is, for example, in true terms, when you take the example of a virtual machine, if a virtual machine is completely available to us, that means virtual machine is up and running. What is reliability? Reliability means whether the virtual machine is operating in a optimal fashion or not, so that it is giving the proper services or not. See, having a system on is one thing. Whether you are able to use it properly for your purpose is another thing. So availability is having the system switched on, whether the VM is available or the Kubernetes cluster is on, and whether it is properly available. Reliability is is the property where you are able to use it or get benefit out of it. That is in a expected manner. That is the difference. So Abdul, is your doubt cleared? Okay, you are asking about scalability and elasticity. I have explained scalability and elasticity also, right? Was it clear? Any doubts, put it in the chat, Abdul. Okay. So there is some another criteria called fault tolerance. What is a fault? What is a fault? First of all, what is a fault? Fault means in any system, if intended performance is not expected, or any misbehavior or unintended sequence of events uh, is called fault. Okay. So fault tolerance is the property that helps or enables a system to continue operating in a proper manner and a proper fashion. And in the event of failure, even then it is able to withstand and provide the services. For example, what is the practical example? Let's say you have an application based on few virtual machines. It's a simple web application, and you have installed it in some web servers. Okay, underlying web servers are nothing but virtual machines, right? So what happens if one of the virtual machine crashes? It should lead to your application getting downtime or it getting crashed. So if you have fault tolerance, that means if you have multiple virtual machines, or if the virtual machine itself is split across, or you have redundant copies of your virtual machine as a standby instance running in another region or something like that. So exactly, so it will support the application. You will see the fault tolerance and other things when we deal with the database related concepts. You will have a primary database, you will have a standby, and also you will have read-only replicas. So these all things to provide fault tolerance. That means in the case of any issue, whether your application or a system or the process is can withstand it or not. That is called fault tolerance. So there are certain theoretical concepts, like when we go to architecting applications, we look for something called single point of failure. A single point of failure is a part or a aspect of a system, which is prone to failures. That means if a particular system fails, it will impair the system. It will cause a downtime. That is called single point of failure. We will try when you are into a system, designing systems, architecting the solutions for your client. You look for any gaps in the system where single point of failures are present, and you will try to avoid that. How to avoid that? You just add high availability to the system, disaster resiliency to the system, and other aspects. That's how your system is robust. Okay, you will avoid the single point of failure. That means having one machine. For example, you have a single load balancer covering 100 VMs. What happens if your single load balancer fails? That means the connectivity to all the VMs will fail, right? So having a redundant load balancer, or having any cached IP mechanism. I will come to that. All those things I'll explain you. Having any cached IP or redundant load balancer will help you in avoiding the cases of single point of failure. Then we have discussed about fault tolerance. Then we will be discussing about system resilience. Is the ability to maintain and serve to the fullest capability which we are expecting. Resilience is nothing but whether it is it is able to withstand the challenges, faults, and whether it is able to perform normally or not. In the in the SRE world, in the sense, the site reliability engineering world, uh, it is mostly about how well your system is up and running, whether your system is up and running 24/7, 365 days or not. Are there any downtimes? How much downtimes are acceptable? And there are so many terminologies and other things which I am not going to. But essentially, what we are looking towards as SRE or a site reliability engineer is how resilient our system is. If a fault, or if a crash, or if any unintended event happens, how robust our system is, how resilient it is, how quickly it can bounce back. This is what about system resilience. There are some risks in the for example, when a region or a data center goes down, how our system can come back, how can we spin up a database, or how can we retrieve that data and make it available back. So such kind of scenarios are there. How do we establish system resilience? Then we have DR, backup, and other aspects to it. Okay, so disaster recovery is a process, or procedures, or set of policies which helps in continuing the operations as it is when a disaster happens. For example, let's say if you see several cyclone happens in the east coast, or the west coast, right? If you are from US, and if you are from India, in the cyclone season, several of the cyclones hit our coast, right? So what if there is a data center in Chennai, or if it is in San Francisco in the west coast? What if there is a storm happening, and your data center's power facility is affected? So what do we do? If it is not a reliable system, if it is not a resilient system, then it will be prone to downtime. So what do? We expand, or we set up in a what do you call, disaster resilient manner our infrastructure, so that we split our infrastructure across multiple data centers, so that in multiple regions, if one region go down, even then the other region would support our system. So Sai is asking, what is system resilience? And system resilience is recovery of the server recovery method. System resilience is a set of or is the property of the system to be available even after a fault, or even after a if event happens, any untoward event happens. So how resilient it is? Yeah, it's not a tool, it's a property. Yes, it's a property of a cloud mechanism. For example, in GCP, not only in GCP, in any cloud provider, yeah, in our case, in GCP, any service, to call it as a resilient system, that means whether we are able to keep our infrastructure resilient. That means whether our infrastructure is available after a disaster or not. That is the property. For example, in a cloud, we have multiple regions. We will explore. Okay, we'll explore how Google's infrastructure is set up. For example, if Google has several regions and zones set up, and when we have a region, and different regions are there, if a particular region or a data center in a region goes down, and if our application is resilient system, then we will set up in a manner that that application is spread across multiple zones, and one particular zone goes down, or one particular region goes down, then it is still available in the other zone. Or if a particular system goes down in a particular zone, and we don't have any other setup, then how quickly we can stand it back, or we can recover the data, or we recover the system back. That is the resilience is about. Is it clear, Sai? Did you understand? Fault tolerance is the ability to withstand the fault. Resilience is the property to come back after a issue, or come back after a or withstand the failures. So basically, we take care of backup, and we use certain mechanisms to achieve system resilience. System resilience is a property; it's not a tool. How to achieve system resiliency? We will have tools like backup, and spreading across multiple availability zones, and other things we will use to achieve that Resiliency. Yeah. So let's go to security. Security wise, GCP is a foremost a leader in achieving, cloud security or security across the different thing. If you see Gartner reports, Gartner is a famous research organization which does the tracking the trends and other things. If you see the Gartner reports for cloud security, GCP stands in the market leaders category. That means it is the foremost leader in providing the cloud security related areas. So there will be several areas of security available. For example, if you see, the security is not a single layer security. There will be security in depth model. For that purpose, there will be a perimeter security, physical security available, and then there will be several layers of network and firewall related security, and then and then at infrastructure level there will be several layers of security. So what is the advantage of having several layers of security? It helps in securing our applications which were deployed into the cloud infrastructure. If you don't have security, for example, if there is no physical security, or if there is no electrical fencing for our data center, anybody can enter. If you don't have properly trained security, what will happen? Anybody can out you know can overpower them, and breach might happen, and theft might happen. What if a proper identity and access mechanism is not there? What if proper authentication and proper protocols are not there? Multi-factor authentication for admins are not there. So there are several layers of security. So cloud provider will provide all the layers of essential security till your infrastructure, where your application is hosted. It is their responsibility. Your responsibility is to make sure that your application and the infrastructure you are provisioning, if it is infrastructure as service, is not any it doesn't have any vulnerabilities, or any issues are not there with that. So now cloud providers provide these things free of cost to you, or they will charge, when they charge or price these services, they will include everything into that. So if you have your own data center, you need to pay for entire thing, right? So what is the advantage of having cloud? You share the costing, or you share the infrastructure pricing and everything, and also the price you pay for all these properties, like system resilience, fault tolerance, security, and every other thing. So that is the advantage of having cloud here. Okay, cloud provides system security at a very very affordable price, and they follow also the best practice. Who knows, if you have your own data center, you might be following best practices or not. But a cloud provider like Google will always are prone to third party scrutinies. Okay, every system should be PCI complement. Every system should be it should be secure enough. There will be third party audits which will be happening every quarter in Google data centers, which will live up to the highest standards of security. So there are some security ways and other things. There is something called manageability and interoperability. What does that manageability mean? Manageability means when you are when you have your infrastructure set up in the Google Cloud platform, how how well you can manage the systems. For example, any complexity levels, or how the system is influenced by any network related activities, or is there any impact or untoward impact on our infrastructure for due to any servicing or maintenance or not, something like that. So what is interoperability is the property where, if you have a setup or a infrastructure, how well you can migrate it into different region. Or if you don't want a particular system for some time, you can pause that system and use it after some certain area, or certain time, or certain after certain period. So interoperability means you can use it, reuse it, or if you have a particular system, whether you can take a backup of it and use it after some time or something like that. So basically, manageability and interoperability are certain scenarios where which will help you, which can be achieved using something called system control automation and system state monitoring. So I'm not going to do in-depth PhD into all these things. These are just theoretical aspects. Just go through it and see that how automation helps in achieving these areas or not. For example, like control automation. How do what does control automation means? Control automation means achieving four areas like self configuration, self healing, self optimization, self protections. These are some aspects. Okay, these are present in the infrastructure which we are going to set up. So it's the responsibility of the Google Cloud to provide these features for the infrastructure which we are providing. For example, if a VM is there, okay, if a if a VM's operating system crashes, if there is a self-healing feature, then automatically there should be a mechanism, a control automation, which will detect the failure or crash in the operating system and restart the VM. Or it will intimate us saying that particular VM is down and your load balancer make sure that there is no traffic going to the faulty VM. So that is the self-optimization, self-protection, and other areas of control automation. So then system monitoring. Monitoring, what is monitoring means? Monitoring means we need to understand the system's characteristics and keep tabs or keep track of what is happening with our system by collecting the metrics and logs. Okay. For example, if you have Kubernetes setup, then you need to track you need to continuously track how the health of your nodes are, how the health of your control plane is, how your pods and nodes, and you will understand all those things. But I'm just giving an example. For example, if a VM is there, a set of VM scale sets or a group of VMs are there under a load balancer. Then in the load balancing setup, whether the VMs are running properly or not, whether the resources, is there any resource crunch or network bottleneck is there, that will be available, that will be find out through metrics. Then if a particular VM is malfunctioning or an application within a web server is malfunctioning, you will use logs to understand the things. That is the difference between logs and metrics. Metrics give you quantifiable values which will reflect the health of the system. For example, CPU usage 80%, memory usage 30%. What does this say? This say the state of the system. With CPU is overutilized, that means you need to add with either you need to scale up the system or add one more VM to support the system. Or if you have a faulty application, and application is throwing errors like something like 404 page not found, then you will go to logs to find out which page is being requested, and you might look for logs to see whether that particular path is available or not, whether that particular requested URL is proper or not. Yes, Abdul, I will come to you. If you can put it in the chat, I will take the all the raised hands, the questions at the end of this session. Okay, give me a few minutes. I will try to complete the core aspects of cloud, and I will come back. I will take your question. If possible, please put it in the chat if you want to, like if it is a simple question, just put it in the chat. Otherwise, just give me some time. I will be taking questions from you in person. Okay. Then performance and optimization. This is very similar to SL. How available our system is. Okay. For example, if you have a compute, if you have a you know VM, whether the performance is guaranteed or not, and whether the delivered service is optimized or not. For example, it is about like how Google Cloud plans and defines its infrastructure within the data center. We are not going to define how rack servers are co-located, or how much storage per rack server. We won't deal with it, right? The cloud service, the cloud provider will deal with the provision of infrastructure in a way that it is optimal, and it delivers the high performance to us, the end users. So then we have parallelism, and we don't need to go into all these things. Load balancing is very important phenomena. We will understand how load balancing is achieved. Basically, it is a way so that when there are multiple infrastructure, how does our requests are properly routed to each of them without harming, or without causing bottleneck in one particular system. What does this mean? For example, if there are Uh, if there are four web servers in your system supporting your web application, and there is a if traffic is coming, if there is no load balancing, what will happen? There is no way of saying that all the requests are going to a single VM and some other VMs or other web servers are not being utilized enough. So for that purpose, we will use something called load balancer, and load balancer is a device which will help in routing or balancing the traffic to different VMs as per the model we set up. We will have round robin fashion. We will also use certain parameters to balance the traffic. We will see all these things at length about load balancing during our load balancing module. Okay, so what is the benefit of having load balancing? It improves the resource utilization, it improves the system performance, and it improves the energy efficiency. Basically, load balancing helps in achieving the optimal utilization of resources. Then what is scheduling? Scheduling is application or a particular software process where if there is any background process need to be run, that will be scheduled. So basically, we won't schedule anything. Yeah, some, for example, alerting mechanisms are there. You want to give alerts, mail alerts, or if you want to schedule auto shutdown of VM whenever a certain off hours are there, when the users are not there, your developers are not using a VDI or a virtual desktop for certain duration of time. There is no point in keeping it running, right? So you can shut down to you can schedule a mechanism to switch off or make a system standby mode to make sure that certain power is saved or something like that. So scheduling is, you know, uh, you know, what do you call? When do we do the scheduling? When there are computation intensive tasks, we need to schedule them in a optimal fashion to save energy. There is any, for example, if you have Hotstar like application, you know what time your basketball match is going to start, or your baseball match is going to start, or maybe your cricket match is going to start, right? Then you can schedule load balancing or you schedule the scaling behavior so that everything will be properly smooth, properly scaled and properly available without any buffering. For example, you are catering your organization is catering to a university. Let's say your organization is supporting a particular university like JNU or Oxford or Stanford University, or particular entrance exam it is supporting like IIT JEE or something like that. Then you will have a predefined period where the results are to be announced. Okay, then you can schedule in such a way that during the period there will be huge influx of users to your system, so you can schedule the number of resources required to withstand that amount of public. So earlier what used to happen few years back, like 10 years back and all, whenever the results used to be announced by any of the educational institutions, the servers crashing is a very very common phenomena. Okay, but these days you don't hear them. Why? Because the dynamic provision of resources using everybody is going towards cloud provider, and cloud providers provide you dynamic provision and the scalability and availability and scheduling, of course. So these features help in providing the end users the benefit of without any crash, without any downtime, they will be able to access the system. So scheduling is a very very useful feature. And then accessibility and portability. Portability means whether our services or the processes are portable across the within the provider or outside the provider also. So that is one aspect. For example, how should I say, I built a uh, you know, what do you call a golden image for my web servers. Now, can I take that web server image, the golden image? Can I port it to different regions in the web server? Sorry, different regions in the same cloud provider. Or if I want to take a backup, can I download it and reuse it? For example, I want in Azure, in GCP, we can take the backup of the system and keep it in our database, in our artifact registry or in our snapshots. And we know if we don't want to have a web servers now and after 6 months we want to use, we can use it use the backup to spin up new systems. We can take the snapshots and spin up new VMs from the snapshot after 6 months also. So that is accessibility and portability of systems and services. Then we have uniform access. It is nothing but, there will be no discrimination between the users based on their location, region, and nation or race or anything. Okay, cloud services are democratic in nature. As you pay, of course there will be different pricing mechanism based on your type of your country and your nature of work and other things. For example, you are a student. Obviously the pricing for a student should be optimal. You are a enterprise organization and you have huge business you can provide to the cloud provider. Then they can modify the pricing, but the service should be provided uniformly. For example, if a VM is allocated to a student and if a VM is allocated to a free tier, or if a VM is allocated to a enterprise organization, they all should be performing identically. There should be no difference between the way services are provided. For example, if I am a student, I'm using a free tier and I'm trying to learn, then the VM or cloud should not be slow, should not be given low priority, or should not be given least priority, or nothing like that. If I am using same service as an enterprise, I should get the same services. Of course, costing will different. That's what I'm going to say. Then there is something called thin client. Thin client is a mechanism or a system, computing system, where the basic computational operations are very minimal. It will take the help of another computational mechanism to connect and help and provide the computational services. It's like what should I say? Uh, you have a small chip or a small VDA. Take the example of VDA, right? VDAs are, even if your laptop is very slow, if you have a high speed bandwidth, if you open a VDI and work with VDI, what happens? VDI is speed. VDI will be faster and everything will be smooth. But your local system might be slow and other things. So basically, thin client is a way to achieve. When there are when you want to use high quality, high power systems using cloud, you can have thin clients connecting to a parallel performance or highly high compute. What do you call? Mm, there is this supercomputer side of thing, like high performance computing. Sorry, HPCs. So that you can connect your servers to HPCs, and you can reap the benefits of high power computing using thin clients. So till here, any doubts? Abdul, you were asking some doubt, right? What was the doubt? Can you put it in the chat, or you want to raise your hand? I can ask you to unmute. Any other people, if you have any doubts, put it in the chat. These are just theoretical aspects of a cloud, benefits of clouds and other things, parameters of different benefits of cloud. Okay, so let's go to now Google Cloud Console and try to create a free tier. And let's see if you, for those who, who are registered, you will get the step-by-step lab document how to create a GCP free tier in the portal. Okay. So that is the homework for the weekend. So I'm going to show you how to create a free tier. Okay. Now, if you have any doubts, please put it in the chat. Now, there are some prerequisites for creating a free tier. Okay, Abdul is asking some question. Let me answer that. How we achieve below are the examples through GCP. So when we deal with each of these service, Abdul, for example, scalability, reliability, flexibility, security, maintenance, location, and all, we will see those benefits. For example, if you once we deal with the module about compute engines, that is virtual machines, we will understand what is scaling means, scaling and scaling behavior, how to do scaling out or scaling in. We will achieve that scalability in each of the GCP services, uh, by increasing the capability of the system or adding additional VMs or something. So these uh, parameters or these particular properties of the cloud can be dealt with for each service. Okay, for example, reliability means whether a particular VM is available to you, or whether it is whether the services offered to you are provided in a reliable fashion or not. Flexibility means that whether you can order them on demand or not. Whenever you want, you can order them. Security is always provided to you from Google Cloud provider side in a multiple layers of security, and also there is a cloud shared responsibility model. I will come to that in further sessions. So shared responsibility model, when we discuss, you will understand security responsibilities of cloud provider and responsibility of the end user like us. What are the responsibility of us to make sure our system is secure? Maintenance, it is not basically it's not our responsibility to maintain the core rack servers or data centers, right? That's why we are outsourced. That's why we are going for cloud model where maintenance is the responsibility of the cloud provider, and he will charge a fee for as a part of the service utilization itself. For example, you want to use a virtual machine. Okay, for normal web server or a rack server, there is some maintenance is required, like patching, like you need to upgrade and anything. Okay, so that's not responsibility of the end user like us. If we are using cloud, then the Google Cloud, GCP or Google will take care of the necessary patching and maintenance activities. What is location and cost? Okay, location and cost. GCP is spread across different regions, and there will be several zones available. That means individual data centers, they will be grouped so that they are globally available. Okay, so whichever location nearest to you, then you can choose that particular. Then costing means each service will be there with a certain amount of cost incurred. You need to choose different mechanisms like reserving those instances, or making sure that you use preemptive instances or something like that to make sure that you optimize your costs. So these will be understood, Abdul, when we deal with the services. Okay, so these are properties of a cloud provider which are better understood when we deal with individual service. So that's the answer to your question, Abdul. Then Sai is asking, can I know the difference between AWS, Azure, GCP? I hope now a day many clients are preferring GCP and Azure than AWS. Earlier, AWS is very huge usage of these servers. Okay, Sai. So let's split this question into two parts. One, what is the difference between AWS, Azure, and GCP? Second thing, why not AWS, and why companies are moving towards Azure and GCP? These two questions we will address. First one is difference. See, when you come to the range of services offered, all the cloud providers provide similar services. Okay. For example, the naming will be different and some minor details will be different. For example, if you take network, then you call VNet in one provider, whereas VPC in one cloud provider. For example, in GCP, you call VPC, in AWS, in Azure, we call VNet. So, but difference is the naming. But if you see the underlying things, this network are virtualization of network and providing you private virtual cloud, the philosophy will be same, the underlying nature will be same, but there will be some niche features or flagship products will be different. For example, in GCP, BigQuery is a flagship product for processing your big data. Similarly, if you go to Azure, there will be certain other features. In AWS, you will have other data features. But in similarly in Kubernetes terms, if you have GCP, GKE autopilot is it's a unique feature of GCP. In Azure, you don't have autopilot mode, but you have something called AKS. What do you call Arc? Okay, Azure Arc. Azure Arc helps in a different mode, connecting different offline on-premises clusters also. GCP came up with Anthos. So what I mean to say is that all these cloud providers are very competitive. The range of services will be more or less similar, but each service provider will differ in the way they provide the services and the costing they do. For example, GCP provides per second billing, but Azure and AWS doesn't provide per second billing. What is the advantage? If you are dealing with one petabyte of data, that means you are dealing with 1000 GB of data, sorry, 1000 TB of data. Every second will cost you around few hundreds of dollars, right? So what if you can save $1,000 by migrating to per second basis, right? That's what the advantage. So the second question, for that is the answer to the first question, Sai. That means the difference is in the way the services are provided and the costing. Second thing is, uh, many organizations are moving from AWS to Azure. Why? So the advantage is that in earlier period there is something called first to market advantage. AWS is one of the first services which brought many cloud services in the early days itself. For example, they provided VMs and other things at a much affordable level and much beneficial way. Okay, so after some years, what happened? The pricing and other mechanisms have changed. The way the competitors like GCP and Azure, they delivered the services are slightly better than AWS, which is causing the industry to move towards its competitors. And also there is another reason: they don't want to have vendor lock-in. What is vendor lock-in? Vendor lock-in is a phenomena where you first choose a service from a cloud provider, and then you regret because your cloud provider has changed the some terms and conditions for the service, which make you either it is unaffordable for you, or maybe certain implications or certain data privacy norms are not met with, or maybe some governance mechanisms are not suitable, which will cause you a conflict of things. So vendor lock-in is a phenomenon where you stuck with a client and you are not able to move or change. So that's why people are looking towards multi-cloud in nature. So they are looking for multiple cloud features. They are looking for one service from one, and for example, data and Kubernetes service from Google. They are looking for certain basic computational service from Azure, like that. Okay, they are looking for diversified service from different cloud providers. That's why learning GCP and learning at least one cloud provider is very important. Secondary cloud also is migration of servers. Which cloud is best? It depends, Sai. Please give me specifics like which servers you are migrating and what are the. See, that is a very thing. You are asking like which car is good to buy. I cannot give you simple answer, right? It depends on your socio-economic factors, how much you are earning, and several other things. So okay, understanding the cost point of the best to the client. Uh, I understand that you are saying that cost point is important to the client. Not only cost, it is also about availability of those services in the region nearest to you. That is also important, and the data transfer costs and other things. We will deal at length about the services, how to provision services, what are the architectural best practices we should follow. All these things we will discuss. Okay, you were saying Linux or Windows servers, web app servers. Again, Sai, for example, if you have a set of Linux servers and you need to migrate them, why you need to migrate them? You need to understand first of all. For example, if you are migrating from on-prem like VMware machines to cloud, or from one cloud provider to other cloud provider, then what are the criterias? Yeah, okay. Let's take the thing. Give me 5 minutes, Maruti, Sai Maruti, 5 minutes. We will take the queries. Okay. So, guys, we will take up the session of creating the free tier now, and we will go to this thing. How to create a free tier in Google Cloud. Let's try to understand that. I will provide you the lab document in the portal today. By afternoon, you will receive it. You need to diligently practice that, and you try to create the free trial in your free time in the weekend, and try to observe the portal and other things. On Monday, we will see the portal details. For those who have questions, please bear for 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and we will be coming to you for query. So first you need to go to a place called console dot cloud dot cloud dot google.com. Okay, this is the page where you go to GCP. One second, M is missing. Okay, so this is the URL for Google Cloud. For example, I have already a user created. So what I will do, I will sign out of this. Let's say I want to create a free tier account for my Google Cloud. So let me go to another browser. Let me start a new private window and go to this console dot this thing console.cloud.google.com. Okay. So when you go to console.cloud.google.com, first step is whether you have a mail ID or not. Before you create a free tier, there are prerequisites, guys. What are the prerequisites? I want you to absolutely make sure that you have the prerequisites with you. Otherwise, you cannot proceed. What are the prerequisites? I will provide. I will 1 second. I'll share with you the prerequisites. 1 second. 1 second. Where is it? Free tire. Where is the lab two? Lab three GCP. Chatbot, exploring, storage, networking, capstone project. Where is the free tire one? 1 second. Lab three. What is the lab three about? Lab three is about authentication and other things. 1 second. Uh, Creating cloud storage, implementation. 1 second. Yeah, let me share again. Tell me if you are able to see the creating free tier account lab. Okay, so there are some prerequisites you need to complete before you start even creating a free tier. The first one is you should have a mail ID which was not used for creating a free tier before. Okay, if you have used your mail ID for any for Google free tier before, I urge you to create a new mail ID. Okay, you can create a mail ID at any point of time. So go ahead, create a new Gmail ID, Google Mail ID. First of all, for a fresh new Google Mail ID for your account. Then you should have a payment method which has not been used before for Google free tier account creation. My recommendation is you use a credit card. Okay, credit card is the best possible mechanism you can use for creating a free tier account. And in Indian rupee terms, a rupee two of a token amount will be deducted for verification purpose. If you are using internet banking, they will be deducting a 1,000 rupees fee, which is again it will be only refunded to you when you close the billing account. And frankly, I don't recommend this internet banking. So if you don't have a personal credit card, approach someone with the credit card, your family member or someone for creating a free tier account. By the way, unless you upgrade your account from free tier to normal account, you won't be charged anything. So that way you are safe. So don't worry about the additional charges. You will be only charged the verification fee at the first, and then you will what do you call? They won't charge you anything. They will give you $300 free credit. You can consume the free tier credit, and if the free tier credit expires, they will give you an option to upgrade. If you upgrade, then the charging will start. If you don't upgrade, your credit card will not be used further. Then optional for business account, we need domain name and other things. For our course purpose, we won't be creating a business account, so don't worry because this require additional price like domain name and all. You need to buy domain name from Bluehost or somewhere. So we are not going into business account. But if you are going to create a business account, you need all these things. But we are going to create an individual user account. So you need these prerequisites. These are the prerequisites, first of all. Um, Abdul is asking, what are the responsibilities that a GCP professional can do to deploy a single application after configuring all the services? Abdul, uh, your responsibilities include you securing the application and making sure the application is up and running properly. Okay, so all the services means which services you are configuring. Let me know. Based on that, we will see. We will also discuss something called shared responsibility model when when the shared responsibility model differs from even whether you are using infrastructure as service or PaaS or SaaS service. So based on that, if you are using a PaaS service, your responsibility will first if you are using a infrastructure as service, there will be more responsibility to you. If it is a PaaS service, there slightly lesser responsibility on you. If it is a SaaS service, very minimal responsibility on the end user or you. Okay. So GCP providing all services, what GCP infra developer can do. I didn't understand your question. Can you elaborate it? Then Veera is asking, can you use same credit card for multiple accounts? I strongly don't suggest that. GCP is using artificial intelligence. The terms and policies and terms and conditions have been modified. You cannot use the same credit card for multiple accounts. So you need to have a unique credit card, unique mobile number, and if you are from India, by the way, unique mobile number is also important. Okay, so three things are important: unique mail ID, unique what do you call unique mobile number and unique credit card. So that is the best way, sure short way to create a free tier account. Then Path Vamsi is asking, can you please explain the Google certifications? How what is that? How many? I think how many are there, right? So we will discuss in the further sessions, Vamsi. In this session, like we are already about time, but I will give you the certification path details in further sessions. You will get it. Okay, so don't worry. Radha Krishna is asking, what are all the certifications we have for GCP? Please give the details by order. Radha Krishna, is it okay if we cover them on Monday? Today we have very less time to cover all those aspects, but give me some time. On Monday we will cover that. Please remind me, Vamsi and Radha Krishna. We will cover those things on this thing. But if you want to search by yourself, you have weekend with you. So go to Google. Go to Google and search for something called Google certification paths. Okay, you will get the all Google certification path. One second, let me search. Google certification path. Okay, you go to this, there will be basically three tiers of application or certification. So you go through this URL and understand about different certifications. Okay, please go through this URL and you can get the details about certification. I'm putting in the chat. You can go through them. Okay. If you need a detailed explanation and order, please connect with that after Monday. We will discuss with it. Okay. So the course regarding which level of certificate and all. So this course will help you in clearing the associate Google associate engineer ACE, or it will also help you in the Google Cloud Architect certification also. Okay, so whether you are going to Cloud Engineer certification or Cloud Architect. So Cloud Digital Leader is a very simple certification. Even with the first few days of course, you can clear these things. It is all about mostly theoretical aspects. So if you want to go for Cloud Digital Leader, you can go with. I generally don't suggest Cloud Digital Leader. It is for very intro level certification. If you are going for a cloud engineer position, then either you go for cloud engineer and you can go for cloud architect. There is no dependency in the cloud architect exam like in other cloud providers like Azure. You don't need a prerequisite that you should clear the cloud engineer to become a cloud architect. But if you are going for cloud engineer position, you clear for you appear for ACE. If you are looking at a design role, if you are a senior person, if you are 6+ or 10+ years of experience, go for cloud architect position. This course will give you all the necessary material and the content required for both of these exams. I will provide the dumps for both of the exams also. Yes, Radha Krishna, you can go through them. First two classes are also demo, so you just connect with the support team. You can get the details. Okay. So let's go to the prerequisites for Google free tier account creation. Guys, stick to me for few more minutes. We will address the free tier account creation, and so that you can create your free tier in the weekend. So these are the prerequisites. One mobile number I will add here also. Mobile number is important. Unique mobile number is important. Okay. Why I am saying mobile number? These days, Google is very cautious about how it is providing the free tier account. So I advise you use a mobile number also, a fresh one. That means you don't need to buy a new mobile number, right? You can use your family member's mobile number. They will use it for only verifying 2 times. Okay, 2 OTPs you will get, and that will be done. So next steps to create free tier. First, you need to go to the Google console.cloud.com. If you have a mail ID, new mail ID, you need to give the mail ID for verification purpose. Then you will be getting a verification mail, and they will be asked for billing details. So you need to go here, start free. You need to click on the start free here. Once you click on start free, it will ask for a mail ID. If you don't have a mail ID, create a new mail ID. Let's say I have a mail ID. Let's say I want to create a free tier. I want to give a mail ID, something like that. Let's see, I have a fresh mail ID or so. I will try to log in with my new mail ID. Okay. Okay. Oops. Some issue with my mail ID. Okay. Once you try to log into your account, then you are signed in. It will ask for some details like confirming the recovery mail ID and all. I'm not going to set anything now. I'm just going to create a free tile now. For creating a free tile, as I said, you need 3 prerequisites: mobile, credit card, and a fresh email ID. So now I have, oh, this has been used already for a free trial account. But usually what it will do, it will you know it will create a what do you call it will take you to a page called a payment page, where you need to pay for this. What I will do, I will do one thing. I will show the screenshots here. First of all, you will need to what do you call go to the sign-in page, where you need to create a new account. If you don't have an account, provide the mail ID and other things, and create a new mail ID. And then once you click on, once you sign in, like what I have shown you just now, right? Once you sign in, instead of this page, you will be seeing the page of account information details. You need to provide the proper details, your new mail ID and the country details, and agree to continue. Then it will ask for what kind of user you are, whether you are an individual user or a business user. Provide the payment information. If you are in, select individual user and provide the credit card details. Once you enter, don't go for net banking. It is really not advised. I strongly recommend credit card. So give the unique credit card which you have not used before for creating the free trade, and then give the credit card details and address and other details. And also, as I said, keep a unique mobile number for verification purpose. Okay. Then click on start free and complete the payment. You will get a OTP, and you will be getting like deducting 2 rupees from your credit card. Once your 2 rupees are deducted, it will just ask a query like, what is your role? What do you want to achieve from Google Free Tier and other things? Just some stuff. You just enter like what you want to do with the free tier. And then once it is done, your billing account will be created, and you will see that your free trial will be created, and you will get 25,000 rupees or $300 of credit for 90 days. So let me log in into my free trial and to show you this main account. Okay, this is my account. I have created for a free trial for my purpose. And once I create a free trial, you will get 25,000 rupees credit for 90 days. So you can use any service you want. There are very few services which you cannot use, which are reserved for enterprise purposes. Only if you create a business account, you will get that services. For individual account, 99% of the services are available to you, and you can use them. If you once you create a free tier, go to the search bar, search for credits, and in the credit section, you will click on credits. You will get the info about your credits. By the way, sorry again, distribution. By the way, if you have any issues while creating a free tier, okay, what are the there is some issues. 1 second. Uh, some issue with my console. Just a second. I need to select a billing project. One second. One second, I will try to connect a billing account. Okay. Yeah, this is a prerequisite. Okay. Once you connect your billing account, it will how to create a billing account. Your free tier, once it is created, your billing account will be created. Okay. Don't worry about verifying the account. It will just ask for your address and other things. It will ask for uploading a ID card and all. I'm not going to do any of these things. Your free trial will not be affected by this. But while creating a free trial account, uh, it might fail whenever you don't pass a proper new credit card, new mobile, and new mail ID. If any of these, if you try to reuse, it will not allow you to. It will just throw an error saying that issue with payment or something. Some weird error it will throw, but it will not let you create. So that's why always make sure your prerequisites are fulfilled. So that's it. Your free trial will be activated and you will get the uh, credits and you can start using the services. So here, if you can see, these are the services and credits also. If you see in the title, it says free trial status is active, 88 days are remaining, 25,000 worth of credits are there. So you can also create the free trial. So coming back to the session, now the floor is open for this thing, doubts. You can put your doubts or you can raise your hand. I will provide you option to ask you. Abdul is asking, in industry, which services which we are using best practices as for applications. Uh, okay, Abdul, this is a very, very broad-based questions. For example, which SaaS service you used mostly? For example, if you are a developer, you want to quickly develop and test your application, Cloud Functions is a SaaS tool. And also, if you want to automate your Kubernetes deployment, GKE Autopilot is a very good tool. If you want to use your database and you have to have a control over your databases, Cloud SQL is a very good PaaS tool. Okay, if you want to use IaaS tool, for example, you want complete control over your VMs and infrastructure, then you can go for compute engine virtual machine. So deciding which service to use, we will deal with the in the Monday's class. Okay, so you will understand much better, Abdul, if you attend the Monday's class, where we will discuss with cloud service models and examples of each cloud service model, like what is SaaS, what is PaaS, what are the examples of SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS, and when to use which service. Naveen Kumar, I missed last two classes. Can I go through the last two classes? Yes, Naveen Kumar, you can always go through the last two classes because they are free of cost. And I'm going to provide you the details of the support team. You can call them, ask them, or you can go through the YouTube also of our logicslab.com. Those first three videos will be uploaded in the YouTube also. Let me give you the details. Just please bear with me for a second. By the way, for those who join our GCP course, you will get a benefits also, additional benefits also, that we are going to provide two additional courses free of cost, which I'm going to personally deliver. One deals with your soft skills, which will help you in getting a job and surviving in a job or surviving in a in a tough how to survive during the recession and other things. I will cover in this career building service. Then there is GCP DevOps crash course, which will be a set of tools which are specifically designed for DevOps purposes, which is not part of this course, which is additional course. But for those who join this course, will get it free of cost. I will provide you end-to-end projects and certification dumps and live query and doubt clearing, and also many other resources I will provide. So these are the support team mobile numbers. So if you feel that our sessions are very fruitful, or if you are getting benefit out of it, I strongly suggest you to register for this course. And there will be three free of cost videos available to you. But live 5 demos will be there. Monday also free demo will be there to you. And one second, there is a WhatsApp group where all the details will be provided to you. I will take the questions. Please bear with me for a second. I will put the details here. everybody who new to the session, please, oops, okay. There is this WhatsApp group. You need to join this WhatsApp group. One second. This is the WhatsApp chat link I will provide you. Please join this WhatsApp chat group. There is no spamming. Only course related information will be given to you, and it is must to join this so to get the any latest information. All the my updates and any class related information, everything will be provided in this WhatsApp chat group. So now I also request you to go through Logic Lab Technologies web pages, YouTube links for videos and all, logiclabtechnology.com to get the course content and other details. So please go through it. Now I will open the floor to questions. Let me stop recording.